All right, Scribe Squad. Look, it's another day. It's another dollar. I know it's been a significant amount of time. And yes, you're right. For the most part, I really don't be doing reactions like that, and it's because I'm so focused on building my own brand and my own music and everything that I have going on. Yes, if you still want reactions, you can join my Scribe Squad members only. The link is in the bio, and you'll exclusively get reactions and the reactions that you want to see me do. But I had to hop on this one in particular because of several reasons, right? Well, one, because I know Adam Calhoun personally, not to say we're best friends or any of this, but I found this to be so freaking funny when I found out that Tom MacDonald, who we love, and Adam Calhoun were doing a song. In particular, Adam, I gotta call you out on this. We had a conversation a year ago, and I literally have it. I have it recorded a year ago where we were talking about, and I said that I wanted to do a Tom MacDonald feature. And mind you, this is not this is not any type of a slight. I'm essentially bringing it up to discuss how, as people and as artists, we evolve and we're in different places in different times. So clearly, he's in a different time and a different place in his life, right, and in his career, which is great. I'm all here for it. But Tom MacDonald wasn't necessarily on your to-do list as far as which features you were trying to get. And I wanted to do it, and you essentially were telling me no. Like, you literally was telling me no. And then to see you do the same thing a year later is absolutely hilarious to me. So, thank you for coming around. That part, I had said it a year ago. Like, that part. And I didn't tell you to do it, but it was something that I wanted to do myself. But anyway, saying to say, I wanted to react to this. And then also, so much stuff that's coming. I'm dropping a vlog series called Who is Scribe. To see, obviously, you see a clear, like, hair change going on. It's a lot of stuff going on. New music's coming out. So stay tuned and look forward to that. Let's check out our guys right here. And let's have us a good old Tom and Adam time. That part.
Here's the problem with America, the country is broken. Cause they minds stay closed, but they mouths stay open. Get attacked and we blame terrorists, go broken, we blame the price. Blame racists for the racism, but only if his skin is white. If we don't need guns, cause we can call the police. We don't need fire extinguishers, call them.
Okay, that's a stretch. That's a stretch. But I love Tom. That's a stretch. We don't just blame racist people because they're white. There's people all, like, racism is racism. Maybe there are some people that just do that. So, I don't know. Maybe he's talking about those people.
Firemen, please. We didn't want to build a wall and now the border is weak. Your favorite actor has a gate that's like 15 feet. Racism is gay if you're offended, that's retarded. And tolerance is great until you speak and you're a target. If a white man paints his face black, he's a racist piece of garbage. But you put him in a dress and he's courageous and he's gorgeous. All these double standards, man, I'm tired of the...
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, there are some double standards in that regard. There's some double standards.
The noise, freedom's an illusion if they censor your voice. Call a dad a deadbeat for neglecting his boys, but a mom kills a baby and you call it pro-choice. You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose, here's your medal. To a new world order. Why they hate the flag, they try to burn it to the ground. Don't do that in front of me, I'ma let off a round. Pow, scream loud, burn the city down now. Put it on the news, make them all feel proud. Look, make a system where 85% of black people fill the prison. Is it cause they black or they make bad decisions? I ain't good at math, but it seems like it's division. Or is it white privilege? I believe politicians...
That was such an unloaded statement to unpack. Okay, wow. Okay, so did we just sum up that 80% of black people are in prison because they actually made bad decisions? Did we just sum up a whole entire group of people? Is that what we just did? If I'm mistaken, please correct me if that what we just did. I am not sitting here and say that there's so much to why 80% of the prisons is black. It's like a double-ended sword, right? So there's part of it about people who are making bad decisions. Okay, but why are they making bad decisions? It's because of their environment. And we can take it all the way back to, like, okay, mass incarceration of black people. Then we can take it all the way back to that, to segregation. Then we can take it all the way back to that, to slavery. There's so many things. And I'm not sitting here making excuses, right? For individual people, everybody has a choice that they can make in their life, right? But we cannot also ignore historical facts and things that are influences on our life. We know that our environment dictates a lot of it. It's not an excuse, it's a fact. And that's for everybody. White, black, whatever. Your childhood environment that you grow up, 9 times out of 10 sets the stage for the rest of your life. Yes, at a certain point, you're an adult, you can make decisions, and you can choose what it is that you want to do in your life. And so that's not an excuse, but just because everybody has an individual choice, we cannot argue that certain choices are more accessible, more difficult, or more known for certain groups of people. And that's not a black-white thing. That's just anything. We could take any group of people, even whether it's a race or a non-group, and we can say that certain environments have dictated certain choices that have caused certain things. So let's just not sum up the fact that 80% of black people are in prison because they made bad decisions. That is highly inaccurate, and it's not only highly inaccurate, it's ignorant as hell to say that. But I don't even think that he was trying to say. I think what Adam is trying to do is just pose the question, right? And so I think that we get away from actually creating solutions on both sides when we sit here and we overgeneralize and we point the finger versus really talking about facts, versus really talking about there's a business behind prisons. Why is it like prisons is literally a business? They have privatized prisons, A, B, and C. Even if we're not talking about privatized prisons, we can talk about our public prison system, and our current prison system as it states is set up to make profit for certain individuals. That part. And so it's just like any business, right? If I start a business right now, what am I going to do? I'm going to try my best to make sure that I have X amount of clients within that business. And so a lot of times I think we take that aspect out of things and it confuses things. And so for them, it's about getting that client in the business. The business is the jail. So where can I go to get the most clients in the business? Okay, well, boom, I can go here. I can go to this particular environment. This is how I'm going to get most people. Not only that, I'm going to make sure that policies are set up in place so that my business is more functional. It's the same thing that people who are business owners who vote certain policies because the taxes are going to be cheaper for them, or they're going to be more advantageous. It's a business. And so we got to start looking at it like that. Okay, what's wrong with the business? Now let's bring in the human element where the business is preying off of certain individuals, whether it's black, white, or whatever the situation is. And then we also have to look at, okay, so yes, you can make better choices, but part of making better choices is being educated. Well, not educated in the sense of going to school and going to college, maybe educated in the sense of knowledge, and who has the knowledge around you. How are you going to learn a certain amount of knowledge if nobody around you has that knowledge? Like, there's certain... So, that's why I say we cannot just sum up that 80% of prisons are black. Because if that was the case, then we could sum up, then why are the majority of child molesters that are in prison a certain race? Okay. Well, then that should mean that child molestation, right, for certain individuals should be arrested and should get a certain amount of time, right? No, but it's not, because it's not a black and white issue. That part. But I love this song because it's posing these questions and we're able to have a discussion.
To be locked up, try to take our freedoms, that's how you get shot up. Got our back against the wall, try to just stop us. More guns, more ammunition, please stock up. Election gets rigged, rights get infringed. Take this syringe, frighten your kids, show up right where you live. Make me wanna grab a rifle and just go. You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose, here's your medal. To a new world order. And everyone blames white folks for every little bitty thing. We don't have no one to blame, we take responsibility. They tell you be a man, then call it toxic masculinity. Then when you act too feminine, they call it white fragility. I don't understand trans man with humility. I'm just trying to raise my kid the best of my ability. If I disagree, you try to cancel, get rid of me. You cancer, you can't be the answer, you killing me. And I hate white supremacy.
Okay, so I think there's this mix of things going on, right? Yes, there are people who are literally, like, quote-unquote, getting, subject to cancel culture. There's that. But just because we're saying that, not even weird, because I'm not even going to put myself in that situation, I think that the word cancel is being used too much. Like, people are not getting canceled. It's called, you put out your opinion, and now your opinion is affecting your bottom line. That's what's happening to a lot of people. You have a right to have your opinion all freaking day long. Nobody said you couldn't have an opinion, But just like everything in life, with every action, there is a freaking reaction, right? You could have that opinion, you stating your beliefs. Now, it might be affecting your bottom line because you thought your audience was on the same page with that, and they're not. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. Like, because if that's how you believe, then stand by it. Cool, that's how you believe. Some people are just not going to support you. Like, but stand by your beliefs. Nobody said don't say your beliefs. Nobody said don't have your opinion. Just know that whatever opinion that you have and whatever beliefs that you have, it may come with certain consequences. And I don't think there's an issue with that. It's the same thing we're going to talk about. Like, we go back, even back in the Bible times, right? Like, you had a certain belief about a certain religion, right? Depending on what environment you were at, but depending on where you were located at in the region, if 80% of the people in that particular region, the people who were making the laws and people who had power in that region disagreed with that opinion was going to come with consequences. That is okay. I don't have an issue with that. Now, as far as censoring, that's a whole different topic in itself. Like, censoring people's opinions, I think is something that we should definitely stay away from. And then I'm going to unload that at the end of the song.
Primacy just as much as you, but I ain't feeling guilty for something I didn't do. The system's killing everyone, it sucks, but it's true. They kill you, then they broadcast it and call it the news. Or they'll brainwash you through social media feeds. And if you disagree, delete you immediately. Make America China pretty easy to see. I will always remember the land of the free. You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose, here's your medal. To a new world order.
Okay, The Brave, Calhoun, and wow, they're dropping an album together. I can't do anything but laugh because I know the conversation that I had with Adam about this. And which brings me to this. I don't know. I think it's kind of hilarious to me, right? In the sense that, if I'm going to be honest, there's going to be some people pissed off about this statement. I'm not even going to say them. It's like, okay, all right, let's talk about first thing, like censoring, right? Okay, so let's stop. The problem is people have this expectation that the quote-unquote news is here to report all of the news in an indirect and in a whatchamacallit way. At one point in America, it was that, I don't know, and even it still wasn't all the news. It still was news to a certain group of people because they wasn't like, we're gonna go all the way back to slavery time. They wasn't reporting like things that affected black people. No, they weren't. They were reporting things to their audience. Nothing has changed from the jump in that. And news would be news if they were non-profit, right? If there was no profit associated whatsoever and the news's job was literally just to report the news, then it would be the news. So this whole concept of censoring the news, I feel like it's maybe an unfair assessment. The news is a business, just like anything else. We look at all MSNBC, CNN, Fox. They are businesses. Now, mind you, we can do a deep dive about who owns what and each one and all that. We can have that conversation. Most of it's owned by like one or two people or whatever. Anyway, point is, they're a business. Start looking at the news like they're a business. They're a platform. Each platform, right, has a certain audience. Just like right now I have a channel, right? I have a certain audience and a certain demographic in my channel. I need to cater to that demographic and give them the content in which they seek. That is all these news channels are doing. They're giving you the content on which their audience seeks. So you're expecting to get this full-fledged, full-sided version, and it's the same thing. It's like when you go watch BET, right? They make content for their audience, i.e. having black people in their TV shows, right? And speaking to a black audience. There's no difference between BET, MSNBC, Fox, and CNN. CNN makes content for their audience. They report the news for their audience. That part, they tell their audience the content which they want. Fox reports the news for their audience. And the problem is we look at these people like they're the standard of freaking ethics. And whether it's politicians, whether it's the news, or even, quote unquote, our artists like MacDonald and Adam Calhoun. We actually, and when I say we, I don't literally mean me, but we actually as people and we fans, we expect these people to believe the things that they're saying to us. it's a business. I'm here to let you know that it's a business. There's no difference between Tom MacDonald, Adam Calhoun, these news media stations, right? Wherever you get your news from, television shows, radio channels, it's all one big business. And so I need you guys to start getting the bigger picture. These people are catering to people who want to hear a certain message. That's all they're doing. You'll never know for a freaking fact. No, I think Adam actually really believes what it is that he's putting out. Because I have one-on-one interaction. Tom might too as well. But even Tom makes songs where he doesn't necessarily believe everything. He's just trying to show a perspective of a certain person, right? He's even talked about that, right? But they're making songs that are saying the things that you want to hear. It is a business. And so for me, when I look at that, then in my opinion, there's no difference between that and certain platforms. And so you guys are putting out content that you know that people want to hear. So therefore you're profiting off of people's pain points. That is what they're doing. They're profiting off of your pain points. They're telling you everything that you want to hear, everything that you believe. Like, yeah, you're taking my freedoms away. Yeah, that doesn't mean that they're not true. I'm not trying to invalidate how people feel. I'm just saying that is your job as an artist. That is your job as a news media. That is your job as a business, is to essentially profit off of people's pain points. Profit off of people's emotions. Profit off of people's feelings. That part. If everybody in the world, if they had an audience, whether it's Tom MacDonald, Adam Calhoun, or even me, hell, right, had an audience where it was like, all we want to do, same thing like Wiz Khalifa. What's his audience, right? His audience is people who like 420 weed. That doesn't mean that you have to smoke weed in order to like Wiz Khalifa. But he knows his audience. He makes music and he makes content towards that audience. That part. Adam Calhoun knows his audience. I don't know for a fact that he believes, I'm sure he's going to say that he does. I don't know for a fact that he really believes everything he says. There's no difference between him and Trump and any other politician. They're saying things and they're doing things because they're going to profit off of your emotions and your pain point. And that's America. This is where we're at in America. And so this whole concept of, I don't necessarily agree that people's freedoms are getting taken. I mean, we want to talk about pandemic stuff or whatever, right? Cool. Like, we can have those arguments. Those arguments are valid and, like, yeah, great. We're not even going to get into all that. I think that people are just finally realizing that the whole entire thing was a game from the jump. That's where I'm at with it. People are just waking up to seeing that, oh, this thing was set up in the first place. It has always been set up. And what people need to realize, it is not a black, white, Hispanic, Asian thing. That is not what's taking place right now. They want you to think that's what's taking place. In actuality, it's a social economic thing. Not to say that those factors don't exist. Not to say that racism doesn't exist. Not to say that systematic oppression does not exist in certain situations, right? We're not invalidating that. Not to say that people who have certain viewpoints, whether they're conservative or liberal, feel like their voices aren't being heard or everybody's not. I'm not invalidating that, but what I'm saying is that in the grand scheme of things, right, this is what they don't want you to realize, that what it really all boils down to is this is it. This is what it all boils down to. Social economic systematic oppression. That is something that is going across every single race right now. It doesn't matter. It's every single race. It's the same reason why, well, it's a quote. It's not even that accurate anymore. 99% of people own, 1% of people own 99% of the wealth. It's because the system was set up for you to be an employee. That's what it was set up. It was set up for you to work for somebody else and be in debt and never pay off what it is that you have and always have to work. That's what it's set up for. It is not set up to tell you that in actuality, you were supposed to either start your own business, figure out some type of a trade. There's nothing wrong with working a job. Nobody's saying that. But working a job is supposed to be an ends to a means. You're supposed to actually generate assets and not liabilities. And your assets are supposed to make you money. Your money is supposed to make you money. And these are things that if you don't come from that environment, you don't have anybody around you, that they're not going to teach you. people who are wealthy, right? Not people who are rich. Let me tell you the difference between being rich and wealthy. Being rich means I have money and I'm able to afford my lifestyle. Being wealthy means that if I stop working right now to this day, for the rest of my life, I'll never have to work a day in my life, because the amount of money that I'm making off of my assets is able to take care of my lifestyle for the rest of my life. That's wealthy. Wealthy people don't do the rat race. Here's what the rat race is. The rat race is exchanging time for money, i.e., you go to a job, you take a certain amount of hours, and you make a certain amount of money. That part, whether you have commission, whatever, it's still time for money. That's the exchange. Wealthy people do not do that. I know, because I've been around wealthy people. These are the things that they have been teaching me for the last year, which I'm going to, tap in and help you guys learn this as well. They don't do that. What they do is they generate an asset. They create an asset, and that asset generates money. So where they don't have to exchange their time for money. Wealthy people get to use their time to do what they want to do. That part. And so whether it's an artist, right? And so part of how artists generate assets is obviously, in the traditional sense, like CD sales, streams, but royalties is something like where you see an effect of like Chris Brown and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's butt's not here, and he's still making money off of his music because he has an asset, and his asset is his catalog that gets licensed out as A, B, or C, or D. All I have to say is this. Whether it's them that we're talking about now, whether it's me or any other artist, know that it is a business. That's it. That doesn't mean that their message isn't valued, or that doesn't mean that their message is invalidated. That doesn't mean that their opinions aren't true. But ultimately, it's a business, big dog. It's all one big game. And I seem to say, back to when I talked about at the beginning, where I had this conversation with Adam, right? And let's say there's no judgment here or there, because I'm even at this point now in my career. This is just called evolving as a person and in life, right? We say that certain things is things that we're not going to do, and then in actuality we start to see things in a different perspective. And that's the only thing I think is happening, is he sees things in a different perspective, and now it makes more sense, right? And so here we are now, and he reevaluated something. I don't know. I have to have a conversation. I'm sure I'll talk to him about it. He reevaluated something, and it's a business, big dog. Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. That part. Tap into that. But ultimately, I say is I do love the song. I love the collaboration. I think it's long overdue. It was amazing. And I feel like I'm glad I was able to tap into this. Haven't done a reaction in a really long time, especially something that's this in-depth and like a rant, whatever, right? We love Tom. We love Adam. Wish them the best of luck. And make sure you stay tuned. If you're not following me already on Instagram, you need to. Instagram, The Real Scribe. Obviously, you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, so there's that. And stay tuned for Who is Scribe vlog. That's really just going to let you get to know me a little bit better. Going to have a web series that's acting, directing, all that's going to come out. And new music that's on the way as well. Everything's getting leveled up. We're in a new era of Scribe. And I just want to say that thank you guys so much for all the support. I love you guys so much. And I appreciate your patience as we're in this time of like transition and everything. And I will see you next time. Oh, because people are going to be mad if I don't do this. You can ring my bell.